The Wise Men of Gotham. A long time ago, under the reign of King John, an incident occurred in a small village, Gotham, Nottinghamshire. On a bridge near the village stood two men. Now, these two were engrossed in an argument which seemed pretty important to both of them. "I shall go buy some sheep, and I shall bring them across this bridge," said one of the men. The other man got angry and spat. "No, you shall not." "But I will," yelled the first one. Now, this argument began when one of the men had announced that he was going to Nottingham to buy some sheep. The other was, for some reason, strongly opposed to the idea of the sheep crossing the bridge. They stomped their feet and beat their staffs, both relentlessly stuck to their opinion with no hesitation. "You shall not bring your sheep this way. Hold back your sheep, I say. Be careful with your staff," yelled the other in fury. "If you handle your staff carelessly, my sheep will jump off the bridge." The two men stood on the bridge and argued at the top of their voices, flaying their arms around and about. None of them had backed out of the argument. At the very same time, a man on his horse was passing by. It just so happened that the man on the horse too was a resident of the village as the two farmers who were fighting. He curiously stood by and observed the two fighting men. The two men were still in the middle of the argument and were relentlessly shouting at each other. The man crossed over to where the men were arguing and said, "Peace, good fellows. Would you mind helping me with this sack of meal on my horse?" The men looked at the man on the horse. They stopped arguing for a moment and helped the other man with unloading the sack of meal. After the sack of meal was unloaded, the man said, "Please help me with carrying this back to the edge of the bridge." Once near the edge of the bridge, the man loosened the sack and emptied the sack in the river. After doing so, he turned around and asked the other men, "So, my good men, tell me, how much meal is in the sack?" Both of them looked at each other, surprised at the strange question. "Why, there is none," they replied in unison. The man with the sack smiled and said, "If you have that much sense, then what was the point of arguing about the sheep that weren't even here yet?" Thank you for watching this video. This adventure had a moral about not arguing about things before they happen and jumping to conclusions. Hope to see you in our next adventure with silly stories. Make sure to like, share and subscribe and check out our other adventures. Goodbye and hope to see you soon.